Hey, crocheters, crafters, knitters, and yarn enthusiasts. For me, today this is future Jenny. It is Wednesday, January 18th, 2023. The footage you're about to see is from Sunday. Sunday started off okay. I was tired. I was a little overwhelmed, but I was willing to keep working and purging the yarn. But something happened to me on Sunday. You'll see towards the end of the video, I was fine. I'm sitting in front of a different shelf because I was moving my variegated yarn, and I had stopped the camera, and I was having problems with my camera. Like, I had filmed more, but it turns out my camera didn't actually film any of it. I lost the footage for whatever reason. I still don't know what that reason is today. I don't know. But somewhere in losing all that footage and malfunctions with my camera, I just hit a wall where I just couldn't do anymore. I was so overwhelmed by the end of these video clips that I just, you'll see me, and I'll tell you that I'm done and I give up. I had a breakdown, a meltdown maybe. I shut down. Because right when I got done filming that last 9-second clip, I went and turned everything off, closed all the curtains, laid on the couch, and took a nap. And when I woke up, I'm like, wow. I really did. I shut down. I was just so overwhelmed. I'm better. I was better by Monday, and definitely better by Tuesday, and feeling really good today on Wednesday. But, I mean, that's the whole thing with depression and anxiety and being a pack rat and have hoarding tendencies. When you finally put your foot down and say, I'm going to make a change and I'm going to do something different and I'm going to fix this, you're okay at first. You've got all that momentum going on and you've got all those good feelings going on, but at some point it all just crashes down on you. And you have no choice but to retreat for a little bit to catch your breath and regroup. And that's what happened to me on Sunday. So, I mean, I left that last little clip in there. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. It got really tough in there for me for whatever reason. Between the camera malfunctions and realizing the yarn that I'm keeping, it's not all going to fit on that new shelf. And I really wanted it all to fit on the new shelf. Most of it will, like 99% of it will, except for my variegated yarn. And I love variegated yarn. It makes my heart happy. It really does. That all the colors. If you guys have been around for a while, if you would have heard me say that I get bored with just one solid color, and I do. I prefer to do multiple colors in a blanket. I prefer long color changes in a yarn. I like cake yarn. I like variegated yarn. I like lots of color when I'm working. I get so bored with one color, row after row after row. I'm bored out of my mind and I'm not happy. So I love my variegated yarn. In all honesty, I didn't realize how much I mean, I knew I had a bin full. I knew that because I was saving it, but then I realized I had a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here and a little bit there. And then I got it all together and I'm like, it's not all going to fit on my yarn shelf. I'm going to have to put it somewhere else, which is putting it in my white cabinet, which is sitting over here next to me. That's fine. That's fine. But I got so overwhelmed with the idea that I had in my head that my yarn stash had to fit on that one shelf that I bought specifically for yarn. It had to. And I just couldn't get past the fact that I actually need a second shelf to put yarn in. Construction noise. Our neighborhood's going through some new gas lines and water mains, so construction noise outside. So that's what Sunday's video is, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that the video ends on such a sad note, but I'm okay. I worked through it for the rest of Sunday. Help from my kids, from my husband, from my cats. I had cuddle time with everybody, and I was okay by Monday to keep on going. So, that's a very long intro to let you know about today's video. I want to thank you guys. My part 1 and part 2, you guys are giving me lots of encouraging comments down below, and I really, 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 really do appreciate all of your comments, all of your encouragement, all of your support, and hearing that there are people out there who have the same problem that I do, and that I might be inspiring them to do something about it. It hits me right here in the heart. All the feels with it. It's wonderful. So thank you guys so much. So let's go on into Sunday, and I will catch you guys later. Okay, crafters. Today is Sunday, January 15th. Okay. Hopefully by now you've already seen my clips from yesterday. Okay. I want to keep going with my momentum with clearing out my yarn, and so I just rolled out of bed, didn't even shower, just put on my clothes from yesterday, had a hot cup of tea, got my 2 teenagers off to work, and now I'm in the house by myself. My husband's out at the grocery store, so I figured I would go through some more yarn and see what else I can purge. I just want to keep going. I cleared out a lot yesterday. I have notes. I cleared out 6 blankets, 24 cotton crochet hot pads, okay, and then yarn wise 47, 51, 60, 71, 78, 79, 99 balls of yarn yesterday. Oh, it's just one short of 100. Oh, I cleared out 99 balls of yarn yesterday. So yeah, I'm just gonna we're just gonna keep right on going. My next bin here, one of the big ones, and I already cleaned out some stuff from this one, which I didn't film. I cleared out 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, 4 bags, and 5 bags of yarn. Yay! Alright, so I'll show you what's left in this bin. Stuff. Alright, let's see. Hirschner's. Oh no, I bought it at Hirschner's, but it's Lion brand. Okay? I have no job for it, so off it goes. Now these little Karen cupcakes, see that? With a little pom-pom? These I'm keeping because I'm actually using these on a blanket. It's just I have them in like 3 or 4 different spots, and I'm trying to get them all together. So, no, kitty. Hold on a second. My kitty cats are trying to help me. Let me see what their help looks like. Knocks the bin over and knocks it over. There's my iPad. There's my phone, my notes. And there they are, acting like they didn't do anything wrong. Chaos! People, chaos in my house. Okay, these are cotton. I made them for my kids when they were babies. They used to carry them around the house. as like little loveys and security blankets. This one is from my youngest, right? She used to wrap her baby dolls in it. This is my middle child. Again, they would wrap their baby dolls up in them as little blankies, and they would carry them around the house. So, these go in my keepsake bin that I have for my kids with some of their baby stuff. It doesn't belong in my yarn pile, my yarn stash, or my project pile. Go in my keepsake bin. So I will relocate them later. Alright. Let's see. This is some random pink yarn. But I'm keeping some of these little balls of yarn that I find. Not all of them. I have been throwing some of them away. But pink's my favorite color, so it goes over on the shelf. This is a project I abandoned a long time ago. It is a shawl. It's black and it has sparkle yarn. I abandoned it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it, so I have a bin that I'm putting things in that I don't know what I'm doing with it. And this was the yarn I was using. I will decide later what to do with that. And then, let's see, 2 more little balls of yarn that I don't think I need. And yarn labels. Guess I can get rid of the yarn labels. There you go. Trash. And that, my dear friends, is another empty bin. It's stuff to relocate because it actually didn't belong here, stuff to donate, and stuff to throw away. So, what I'm going to do with this bin is all the blankets I've already done videos on. I'm going to get those blankets out. I'm going to stick them in this bin so they're all in one spot so I know that I've done videos on them. Yeah. Alright, on to the next bin. Is this big blue one. Now the stuff in here is already sorted. I sorted it by brand. I've got Big Twist from Joann's in this medium gray. And this blue. I love this blue. I'm keeping this. You know, I love my golden yellows. I'm keeping that. And the lighter shade of gray. So they will go over onto the shelf. So that's another bag emptied out of a bin. Alright, so this bag's got some Vanna's Choice in there. This is for another blanket. It's for me to do the border on it. So that stays. And of course, the 2 shades of pink that I love. Yeah, this is for the border. And a shade of blue that I don't want, so that can go. So there's another bag empty. Now, this bag here, I have this labeled. This goes, everything in this bag goes to a blanket that I made. And it's a blanket that I haven't done a video yet. So it's got grays and blues. These are the yarns I used for that blanket. So this stays. I'm going to go find the blanket that it belongs to. I'm going to put it together and put it on my schedule so I can make a video about it. So this bag is yarn from Hobby Lobby called I Love This Yarn. I've got these two here. This one I found at my Goodwill. This one I went and bought myself. It's going on my shelf of variegated so I can make another Patchwork Squares blanket. And these are all samples of I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby because I was testing it out to see how well it worked up. It is actually a wonderful yarn. It's beautiful yarn. Someday I will do a video of a yarn review. Ooh, that would be fun. So, like, these are the samples I made up using the I Love This Yarn. Corner to corner square, granny square, another granny square, another corner to corner. So, it's a project in the making. So, I'm not throwing it away. I'm not donating it, but it doesn't exactly go on my yarn shelf. So, back in the bag it goes for the moment. Try to remember that this is not a perfect process. I'm not trying to hold on to anything. There are just some things I truly do not know where to put it. I have a shelf dedicated to yarn. So I'm going through my yarn bins. But you know, unfortunately, in some of my yarn bins, there are other things mixed in. So I'm not making excuses or anything. But, you know, like my kids' little blankies. They don't belong in the yarn bin. They don't belong in the yarn stash. They don't belong in the project pile. So they need to go elsewhere. And same with the I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. So this isn't perfect. It's not a perfect process. I don't know what I'm doing here. I make it up as I go along. But I am purging. And that's the whole point of all this. I am purging. I am getting rid of this stuff. Okay. And I have no wisdom. I truly am making it up as I go along. Okay. So this bag that was in the bin, it's already been sorted through. It is a bunch of leftovers from a blanket that I made. And it's all variegated yarn. So this is going on my shelf with all the variegated yarn that I'm saving so I can do another Patchwork Squares blanket. I don't know how many times I've said that already, huh? I know, you don't see me putting it in the corner because it's dark over there and you can't hear me from back there. Okay. This is all yarn from Hirschner's. I think I'm purging this. It's their worsted 8 yarn, which means it's number 4 worsted weight or medium weight, and it's 8 ounces, although I do like that color. But they've been sitting around for so long, I've forgotten what I bought them for. So off they go, they're being donated, and there's another bag. It's empty. Red Heart with Love in a light gray. I have this earmarked for a project. Red Heart with Love in this Hollyberry red. I don't want it. You guys know I've been battling those red colors. I'm not happy with them. And these are leftovers from a blanket that I made for my niece. And I haven't done a video on that yet, so they stay. And these are leftovers from my ripple blanket that I made. And they all stay. Patents. Can of something or other. Alright, I have no job for this, so it can go. Be donated. And that can be donated. And there's another bag that's empty. So how many bags is that? 1, 9 bags that can be thrown away. So I'm going to go do that now. And this big blue bin is now empty. Now, that bin itself is being donated. I like bins that are clear and see-through so I can see what's in them. So give me a minute to wipe the dust out of it and get it out of the house. Okay, crafters, I'm finding today's video recording to be very hard. The bins that I'm going through are not easy compared to yesterday, where there was so much obvious stuff that I didn't want that could be donated and that was too tangled up that can be thrown away. So today's bins are not that easy. So I just sat down and talked with my husband for a little bit to help calm me down because I was having a really hard time with it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the camera and I'm going to spin around in my living room. I'm going to show you what my living room looks like. So please be kind with your judgments. I just want to show you the space that I'm working in and how hard this can be, okay? So, love my couch, 7 feet long. It's awesome for holding stuff, but I also need a place to sit down on occasion. My bookshelves, which are almost as messy as my yarn pile. But this is, I got a space heater, more books, a chair that has my couch blankets on it, right? Yarn bin that I'm dealing with. More yarn bins, footstool. There's my tripod. There's my chair, right? With more bins on it. The cat's chair. And all of this stuff, this is yarn stuff and crochet stuff. And I have very little space to work in right here. Okay? I'm constantly tripping over my feet. These are my empty bins, but they're sitting in front of the shelf that has the yarn on it. I cannot stress this enough. My house is tiny. Okay? So I'm fighting myself today. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the camera off for a little bit. I'm going to grab an empty bin, and then all the blankets that I've done videos for that you guys have already seen, I'm going to grab all those blankets and put them in an empty bin. This way they are all in one spot. And then I'll go from there. So I'm going to turn you guys off and I will catch up with you when I've got that bin full. Okay, crafters, I picked this bin here. Hopefully it's big enough to hold all the blankets that I've done so far. So there's my Karen Simply Soft sample blanket. There's my Pink Peony Ripple. My Fun with half double crochets. I think I called that one. There's my Patchwork Squares blanket that's using all the variegated yarn. That's what I'm saving all my yarn for, to make another one of these because I want to make it bigger to fit my king size bed. This one is the baby blanket where I held 2 strands of yarn together. That's my hopscotch that I made for my kids when they were babies. It's not a blanket, but I've done a video on it. There's my pastel ripple. I've done a video on that. This one I think I just called it Granny and Rose, and it's pinks and grays. One pink and multiple grays. So yeah, that's my husband putting everything in the bin for me. And then my latest one that I did is all the pinks baby blanket. So there. Those are blankets that I've done videos for, okay? I'm going to put the lid on it and I'm going to put it in the corner next to the yarn shelf. So the only blankets that are not in here are my Karen Cakes blankets because I've used them for videos multiple times and they are elsewhere. So let me go put this away. Okay, you guys see this shelf here? I have been using this shelf to store the blankets that I made videos on, okay? So I just took those blankets out and it left me with a lot of space. This here is my pile of squares that I started for my next patchwork squares blanket, okay? Those are yarn that I'm using for that blanket. And then you'll find some yarn that I found at the thrift store in there that I haven't done a video on yet. This is a project I started and finished a couple months ago. One that I started and abandoned, and then this is, I had done a video on hooks and stuff like that, so that's in there. I was trying to keep all the stuff I made videos on in here, but it kind of got away from me. So I'm going to take all my variegated yarn that's over on my new shelf, and I'm going to bring it and I'm going to put it over here because it all belongs together to make another blanket. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be cleaning out the rest of this stuff and putting in all my variegated yarn. You know, crafters, I could do a whole separate video on this cabinet. We bought it at IKEA, alright, and glass fronted doors because I wanted to be able to see some of my prettier yarns. At first I had books in here, but it doesn't really work well as a bookcase. But we also bought it because it has this shelf up on the top and it fits perfectly under the window. So it's perfect for the cats to sit at the window. So yeah, we spoil our cats. Alright. So here's my bin. My mom contributed and sent up some variegated yarn. I think I had shown this in a video months and months and months ago. She had sent up some yarn so I can do little variegated squares to make another blanket, okay? So I have piles of yarn in there. Alright, let's, well, you know what? We're just going to do a thing. Out at the thrift store, I was shopping one day and I found this awesome color called Berries from Red Heart Classic. Goodwill had it for $1.99. I bought it back in August, okay? I actually put a little date on there. So look at these. This is an awesome color, right? And I found 4 of them. So I brought them home, put them in my little shelf. Okay. I found this skein of Red Heart Super Saver. I found it at my Salvation Army for 99 cents back in July. And it's their Christmas color. They call it Holly and Ivy. So that's going to my Patchwork Squares blanket. Like I'm doing a yarn haul. This one's called Coral Fizz. And I mean, this date stamp says 1992. So it's vintage, and I got it at one of my thrift stores. Thought this would be perfect in the blanket, too. I was lucky enough, I went back to the thrift store a couple days later. They had another ball of the Coral Fizz, and I love this. It's an awesome color. Right? I found a ball of Sunshine Print. It actually looks like sunrise or sunset. That goes in there. Okay. Have a crochet jellyfish. My 16-year-old has a classmate who does crocheting, and she does a lot of the little stuffed animals. And she made this. We like to hide it in the cabinet so the cats don't constantly chew on the little tentacles. But it's cute, right? Hey, Paulie. Paulie? Alright, so what I'm going to do is, my shelf over there that has all of my variegated yarn on there, I'm going to be moving it off of that shelf, and I'm going to be putting it all in here since it all belongs to one project. So I'm not considering it part of my yarn stash because it's for a project. Look at all these squares I have made here. Love this color, right? So I have these squares separated into two different categories. Some of this yarn is soft and satiny, like Karen Simply Soft, and some of it's normal scratchy acrylic, like Red Heart Super Saver. So I have them separated into two types of yarn. There's another pile of squares. I've got like 100 squares done already. There's that color there. Paulie, I'm going to need your help in a few minutes. Okay. There's this color. I only got one square out of this color. You know? And that's the beauty of using these leftovers to make a patchwork squares blanket. That's all my satiny yarn. Wow. These two here, my cats chewed on them, so I don't have any tail ends on them anymore. I have to fix those. And then this pile here, this here, and this pile here. I love to sit at night in my chair when I am at the end of the day and I just need to decompress, and I love to make these little squares. They only take about somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes depending on the day. So, husband of mine, he's going to go grab all that variegated yarn off the shelf, and he's going to bring it to me, and I'm going to put it in here, okay? So all that stuff on the top shelf on the left-hand side. You could move those bins out of the way. I'm giving up for today. I'll catch you guys later.